Well, gCADPlus is a tool to enable you to replace your drawing board and draw with a CAD application. This is the screen you see when you install gCADPlus, and you might like to click File and New, and to begin with, pick a template called First Design, and you'll come into this screen. If I select that horizontal line that's here, notice over on the left hand side there's a properties box, and that tells you that the length is 20 units. That represents 20 feet. And all of your design work is done full size in this space. It's called model space. And whatever you draw in model space will appear automatically in what's called layout space. So here's layout space, and anything that you draw will appear here, and on the right hand side is your logo, and you put your company name and client name and so on. So we can use a template such as this to begin drafting. So how would we put some lines down, say representing the footprint of a house? We'd pick line, draw, and then line. You can see all the other primitive elements that you can place, points and circles and arcs and so on. Pick line, and I'm going to base the line on what's already there. And so I can say my line will begin, and I've moved right over here to what's called the Osnap Toolbar. My new line will begin at the start of that line, and I'm going to go 20 feet, and it will be in the horizontal direction, of course. So if I put polar on, notice that as I get near the horizontal, it locks in. It also locks in at an angle of 45 degrees. So if I wanted to draw a line at 45 degrees, I'd just make sure that dotted line shows and type 45. Here, I'll just type 20. And the new line, I'll right click now and pick X. The new line goes right on top of the existing one, and I can change its color to red. So there's a red line on top of a black line. So all the tools that you need to create your landscape plans are here. Let's right click and start the line again, and we'll start it at the end here. Let's imagine this is the footprint of the house, and we would go 10 feet in this direction, 23 feet, let's say, in that direction, down here 10 feet. Notice that I can pull down and just type 10, and the line goes in and pulls back. We might go over here some distance, say 23 feet there, and I won't put any distance on it, and I'll just click, right click, and exit. We can make all of these lines. Come over here and click on the 1 in the properties box, and now I can add lines together. And you can edit groups of entities by right clicking, and in this case I'm going to join them, but you can see you could mirror them, join them, and so on. So now I'm going to modify. That is now one complete entity. Now let's imagine that we wanted a path to run around there that was 3 feet wide. So this time we look at the Modify drop-down menu, and we would offset. I'm prompted down in what's called the command line down at the bottom of the screen for the object to offset. And now if I can click a through point, or right click and specify the distance. So let's imagine 3.0 is the offset. Then I'm asked to indicate the side. So now we've got a path running around there. Now to dress up the design, we can go to Library, Plants, and from a standard set, we can just scroll through and say I'm going to open that and insert it into the drawing, and in comes the plant. It comes in 3 foot in diameter. Let's just measure it from there to there, 3 feet. So I can select it, right click, and scale it by, say, a factor of 5 or 4, and there's a larger version of that symbol. So we've got all sorts of plants, sized ones, named ones, and even a compound group. Ground covers, compound group, more striking, and I'm just scrolling through. So we'll bring it in, insert it into the image, and there's, let's imagine we've got some screening in this zone, I can select that new one and copy it multiple times, just around the corner and down. So can you see we're building the landscape design quickly and easily using gCADPlus. And if we come over here, and you'll see now we're zoomed in just on that bottom left area, I double click and scroll out using the wheel of my mouse, and I can arrange what I see in that layout space just by changing this magenta box, right clicking and display it on the layout. I'll turn the color of the floating viewport, it's called, to white, so it's white on a white background, and there's our design. Now I need to just move it up a little. Let me just select it, move it up a little and position things the way I want, and there's our design, and I can simply print it. So producing landscape plans with gCADPlus is really quite simple and straightforward.